Well, it's our pleasure to welcome a man I've known since he was a high school basketball star and is now the head coach at the University of Missouri, Cuonzo Martin. Cuonzo, good to be with you, sir. How are you?
Doing fine, Frank. Thank you for having me.
So you know who the happiest people at your press conference were your two sisters and your mom, because they're sick and tired of driving to Knoxville or flying to California. They are thrilled that you're back home.
They're happy. My mom, my sisters, my whole family. It's just a great thing to be home, to be with family, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Everybody wants me to ask you about Michael Porter Jr. I cannot ask you because he is not signed technically yet. But do you anticipate more recruiting this recruiting period?
We think so, but I think the biggest key is to find the right guys to fit what we're trying to do. There's a lot of guys out there, but we want to do it the right way. We have to be patient and find the right people to help us do what we need to do to be successful as a program.
How did it unfold with Michael Porter Sr. and Cuonzo Martin?
We just met. Obviously, I knew him because he coached at Washington this past season. We played against Washington. I have a great deal of respect for Coach Romar, who was the head coach at Washington. And I talked to Coach Romar. But I met with Coach Porter and his wife, Lisa. We met several times, just really talking, not necessarily about his son. Obviously, that part speaks for itself, but just really meeting with him about how he can help our program, to be a part of our program. And a lot of, probably I'll say 80% of the talks are really about me as a person, my thoughts, my belief, family, what I expect from our young men on and off the court, those sorts of things. So it wasn't so much about Michael Porter Jr.
What I find fascinating about this hire is you had never met Jim Sturk. You guys meet in a hotel room in Oakland, and 2 hours later, you got the job. How did that click so quickly?
Well, I think what happens behind the scenes, and I've said it before, I respect Jim from the standpoint of how they went about their business, and everything was kind of dealt with, if it was dealing with my agency whenever the time presented itself, and they allowed me to do my job with my current team. And I just really think the focus was on my team, my family, and making the right decision. Obviously, when it came to pass, in meeting with Jim, I just felt like it was a tremendous opportunity. They came out and it gave me a little time to think about it, and I made a decision, and I think I made a great one.
All right, let's do a little This Is Your Life, Cuonzo Martin. We're shaped by our high school coaches often. You played for one of the great ones, Benny Lewis. I don't think you dress quite like Benny, but you learned a lot from him.
I did. A wonderful man, a great teacher. He had great players. He allowed us to play. I think with him, he taught me how to coach a game, even though with the lenses as a young player, how to coach a game and to see it from the standpoint, this is what it looks like. You don't have to be a fiery guy all the time. You can coach and speak with eloquence to your players, and I thought he did a tremendous job with that.
And you won state championships, a part of 2 state championships at Lincoln. Great teams. How do you remember that?
Well, I like to claim 3 of them because, you know, in East St. Louis, the high school started at that time in the 10th grade, and I was in the 9th grade, and they won the championship when I was in the 9th grade. So really, I was a part of 3 of those teams,
right.
You know, technically. So, but it was fun times because that was kind of understood in East St. Louis to get to the state championship. So the final destination for our programs was to be in Champaign, Illinois, and we did that. We had great teams. But the thing about it, you're talking about guys that grew up together. So it wasn't a case of guys who were shipped in all across the country and as all-star team. Those are guys that grew up together. So we were on the same page, and all we wanted to do was see each other become successful young men. And
some of your friends from that state championship team are with us here tonight. On to Purdue, first team all-conference, one of the best three-point shooters in Purdue history, and you played for Gene Cady, one tough guy, and I'm sure he has shaped you.
Coach was tough, you know, and I say this, Coach was similar to Benny Lewis, even though their approach was very different. They were tough guys, but they were really teddy bears when you got to know them because all they demanded was respect and doing the right things. And I think Coach Cady was the same way. So when you got to know him, and also when I was older and I worked for him on his staff, you can really see the guy behind the scenes. But he was tough now, but he just wanted you to do right. Go to class every day, work as hard as you can work, try your best, all those little things, and just do the things he asked you to do on the floor.
You're a second-round draft choice in the NBA. You get 3 years in the league, but you also go to the CBA. You're humbled by that. I remember meeting you in Chicago when you played for Grand Rapids. What was that like for you?
Probably some of the best basketball I ever played was in the CBA because it was a cutthroat league, so to speak. So every week you had to be clicking on all cylinders because you could be sent home or traded to the team you probably just won or lost to the next day. So, but learned a lot. Really grew as a person, as a basketball player, and it was fun for me.
November 1997, you're diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. How has that helped to shape Cuonzo Martin?
Well, It was something I went through. I don't think I was a bad person before that, but I think what it did for me just put life in perspective. You know, especially like when you're talking about coaching. Of course, you want to win games, you want to win championships and all that. But I think the truth of the matter is, it made me understand what's more important. We all want to win. We all want to be successful. But I try to translate to our players doing the right things, living the right way, going to class every day, not just getting a job, but try to have a successful career if you're going to get this degree, and to be the best you can become in life. And I think those are the things I try to live by. And the cancer just really made me understand what's important in life.
We have 30 seconds left. I want you to tell Tiger fans what you're going to accomplish with this program.
I think real simple. We'll win. We will win. And I mean, because I was hired to develop student athletes, and I think that's the most important thing. Of course, we want to win at a high level, but we will also win in life and on the court. And I think those two go hand in hand. It's not just the basketball piece, it's also the life part.
Good to see you, sir. Congratulations on the job.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Cuonzo Martin, the new head basketball coach at the University of Missouri. Watch out, folks. That program is going to be alive for years to come. That'll do it for this edition of the program. I'm Frank Cusumano. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5, 6, and 10. So long, everybody.